Hey, this is Debbie, and I am here today with my amazing co-host,
Trisha.
Yay. And we are here with our podcast, Your Life Redefined. This is the place where we talk about those things in life that are nothing but opportunities where we get to do what, Trisha?
Redefine things that may not seem like they're the best thing for us, but guess what? Nothing happens to us, it happens for us, and that's what we're here redefining.
Today is our first guest, and it is Jenelle Kruse. And Jenelle, I'm so happy to have you here. I know Deb gets to see you all the time.
I just, in the company of you two ladies, it's such an amazing experience, I can already tell.
Well, it is for us too. And if it's okay with y'all, I know we talked about this on a previous podcast, but I would love to start us off with a breath.
Absolutely.
And now all you people that are listening to this, if you're driving, just fast forward, pause, do whatever. You can come back to this later because we don't want you operating heavy machinery and getting into this really chill state because that's what'll happen. Okay, we're going to do the alchemy breath. And as you guys know, or maybe Jenelle doesn't know, I studied with the alchemy of breath based out of Italy. And the alchemy breath, y'all just go ahead and get comfy in your chair, wherever you are, where you can feel your body on the surface of where you are. Let your eyes close down or even just a soft gaze. And I want you to just take a couple of breaths in through your nose. You can exhale through your mouth. And again, empty your nose. And just continue with that. And then I'm going to ask you to picture your breath as a light. Your breath has the ability to breathe into your body, into your cell, like a little searchlight. Just recognize that breath is your body. If you find a place in your body that just recognize, how does that feel? Do you feel discomfort? In either case, just recognize it with your breath. Focus in that area. Get cues. If you want to focus on a spot that feels good, or one that's causing a little problem, or at least just gathering your attention. So you continue breathing. Breathe a little deeper if you can. Breathe way down into your belly, bottom of your belly. Goes down all the way to your sit bone. As you're shining the light around, sweeping it back and forth. Allow your breath to have feelings within your body. And then as you focus your breath on it, notice how you have the ability to let feel your attention to it, whether you're focusing on what feels good or what's causing concern, causes it to expand. Just kind of breathe back up into your chest. Move your rib cage about just. And then breathe that white light. Allow it to escape up through the crown. The next breath, forget it. The deep inhale, forceful exhale. And just softly open your eyes and come back to the space. You know what? Notice if that even made you feel any different or just what it did with you and your body.
It definitely made me feel different. So thank you. I
Oh, good.
envisioned, yes, I envisioned at first my light, Trisha, may I share with you? So at first my light was almost kind of doing like this really slow spiral. And it was like light pink and white and light purple and it almost had like sparkles and glitters in it. As it was just going down and down and down. Once you hit in my belly, in the deep part of my belly, there is some anxiousness and a little excitement because I am going for my QHHT tomorrow. So I've been like thinking about it all day today and for getting in that space. So I have that in there and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that it is this curious excitement, anxiety melding all in there. But it was nice because once I shined the light in it, it was like my light really slowed and it just went to just this like soft, calm white. It was beautiful.
The power of our breath and what we can do with it inside our body. When it works together, when we're doing it intentionally like that, the things that happen. Now, I do want to ask you one thing before we get started to find out all about you, Jenelle, because there's so much I want to know. But you just mentioned that you were doing a QHHT session. What is that? Because a lot of people may not know.
So it is quantum healing hypnosis technique. So yes, quantum healing hypnosis technique. And so yes, I am going in for my very first session tomorrow, all into the unknown. And like I said, there is so much excitement. I just can barely contain myself, but also, yeah, there is some nervousness because who knows what's going to happen, right?
Well, it is nervous. I'm trained in that as well. I'm sure Debbie's told you. And it is amazing what comes out of of a session like that. Some people call it past life regressions. That's what it's touted as. You know, I don't think if there is past or future, it's all now. So it's all happening right now. But it is in another timeline, and you can discover what is happening in your past or in your, however you want to look at linear past, what may be affecting you in your life now. And once you realize it, you don't have to carry it with you anymore. Some people may have brought forth something that they feel might have happened in another lifetime, and it's not needed in this lifetime, and you can release it just like that. That's on the quantum level. Now, let's get to Jenelle. Tell me, because, okay, all I know is Jenelle works with Debbie, and Debbie, as y'all know, is corporate coach extraordinaire who helps take your business and mine, whenever she's done it with my company, to, like she said in another time we talked, up to another level. What'd you call it?
Level up.
Level up.
Level up.
Jump it up to that other Mario level.
You know, Jenelle and I, yes, Jenelle does work for me. It was interesting, Tricia, now that you're saying that, because just this week we coined the term. We help extraordinary leaders be even more. We are with leaders that are good leaders that want to be great, that are great leaders that want to be awesome, whatever you want to do, but it's all about leveling up. And that's what's real important to us. So thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah, we are the CEO of our own life. So everything.
I sleep with the CEO every night. Who do you sleep with?
That's so fun. I held a rest session for Breathe the World on Sunday, a couple of Sundays ago, and that's what it was about, was being the owner and taking ownership of your own lives and being the CEO of your own life. Whether you work for somebody for payment or not, or you work for yourself, or you're the head of a giant corporation like what you guys work with. Debbie, ask Jenelle or y'all talk, and I'm sure I'll jump in with some questions.
No, not you, Tricia. You won't jump in with any questions. No, and Janelle, I think where Tricia's headed, I actually like to go there. It's not where we don't ever plan, so we don't have any of this scripted. We're very much centered, right? And in the moment when we come into these podcasts, we're very open to what it has. So Tricia, thank you for opening the way. Jenelle, when you think about what the work, let's just say you and I do from a coaching standpoint, yeah, we work with corporate and we could say, oh, we're corporate executive coaches or we're whatever in the coaching world. What is something about the work that you do, the work that you offer when it comes to clients? What's redefining for you in that moment and keeps you locked in to doing what you do when it comes to coaching?
Loaded question. I love that you asked this because coming into this line of work, I truly believe every single step that I took in my own healing journey led me to different modalities, led me to different things that I do. And so coaching and how I know you, Debbie, right? And
well, and you might want to just go ahead and share who you are.
So one of the many masks, if you will, or labels, because I'm also just a spiritual being here experiencing this human incarnation. But one of the many masks that I wore and labels that I wore for a majority of my life was a restaurant manager. I grew up in the restaurant industry since I was 15 years old. I started out and just kept going and growing and going and growing into multi-unit, which was my dream job, getting like the director level dream job. And I achieved it. In that moment, I was being coached. I'm so very thankful to the company that I was with at the time that they brought in coaches from the outside to coach us. It was 2020. So everyone knows what was happening in 2020, this huge movement. And so here I was being coached by two amazing human beings, Debbie and Evie. And they came in and started teaching us about energy. And I'd always known about energy because I had been receiving Reiki for about 5 years for different reasons. And then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, hang on a second. There's something so much bigger here. Something is being birthed right now that I am no longer aligned with who I was in that time frame, in that moment. And so I made a very scary, bold and brave, now looking back, decision to leave everything I knew and just say, oh, what the heck? Let me just jump in and try something different. And so I went and got my certification from IPEC, just like Debbie. And Debbie had no idea I was doing what I was doing. She did not know whenever I actually turned in my...
She was wise enough in business to protect me from knowing. I will say that.
How do you mean protect you in knowing?
Well, because I am coaching my client employee and they leave and go to the coaching school that I went to become a coach, guess who's getting a phone call?
Oh.
Did I coach her to go do that? No. I had no clue that she was going to go do that.
Oh, you coached them right out of an employee, right?
Yeah, right out one of their really, really, really good employees.
You can. How did that go over?
It actually went over really well. One, because Jenelle was wise. And the way that I always coach my clients is it is not about hanging on to your employees. It's about releasing them to be who they are. So if you have an employee in a spot and you're trying to hang on to them, but it's like a caged bird that needs to go fly, are you really getting what you need from that employee then?
So Jenelle, you left.
I did. I left and started my own business. And then I started my own business, not knowing anything, nothing. And just was like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put out the life coaching. And I really wanted to work with women, especially women that were going through a transition like I had done, right? My story of leaving corporate and leaving what I'd always known. And so that's what I did for about a year. And then Debbie and I came back together. And I was like, oh, you mean do what y'all did for me, for others? Sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it all ended up happening.
Yep. I want her to share the story as to what her aha moment was when it came to corporate. Because I, on the other hand, when I went through coaching school, it was not about choosing life coaching. That is the last thing I wanted to do was talk to anybody about their life.
How does a company benefit from hiring you guys?
Benefits. From what I've experienced in my time with Debbie, the benefits that a corporate client gets, it's honestly twofold, meaning because there's two benefits, the benefit for the individual and then the benefit for the company. The benefit for the individual is it is not the typical coaching that you hear about. The only word that comes to mind is safe space, and then also clarity of who you are and what you are doing and how you're showing up impacts everything around you, everyone around you, and how every decision that you make is about who you are. So it helps you really, as someone that went through it, it really helped me dig deep and say, is this really who I am? And is this how I want to be perceived and showing up? Because how they perceive me is who I am.
I see the benefit greatly for the individual, but what me as a company or anybody as a company, what's the benefit to them?
What ends up happening is that individual goes from good leader to great leader. Because now I understand how my leadership is impacting my team. They are a reflection of me.
Okay.
And that's the big aha that I see a lot of time happen with the individuals that we're coaching in the corporate environment.
A lot of the benefit to the organization that realizes if we are not investing in our people, then we cannot ask our people to invest into their teams. If we are not giving space for our employees to grow, then we can't ask them to do the same. We hold the space to literally observe and go, why is that? Why might that be there?
So the workplace just in general has changed so much in my lifetime for sure.
Yeah.
I guess it takes something like coaching, like what y'all do, in order to take it. Now that it is, we all know that everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. And so it's going to flow. It doesn't stop at that door of where you're going to work. It doesn't stop at, when you get out of your car to show yourself to somebody. It flows, right? So what does Jenelle do in her life?
Typically, I wake up early in the mornings, and to get me grounded in the mornings, I do spend a little bit of quiet time before I head to the gym. But grounding is always so very important. Spirituality being my top value, and grounding, that is where that lives. If I don't get to it in the morning first thing, then I can tell throughout the day that, oh, I forgot something today. Working out is also a form of spirituality for me now that I've connected mind, body, spirit with it, where I literally spend time with my body in the minute of the workout and just telling my body, thank you for showing up for me today. So a lot of gratitude for my body temple that I am in, right? So, and then yes, I get the joy of coaching throughout the day. And I say joy because it truly is joy. Like I love what we do.
Since this is Your Life Redefined, of when you went, whoa, this isn't about life coaching.
Yeah, I would love to share because as I stated, whenever I got my certification, I was like, oh, women only, women only. Women are all I want to work with. And then Debbie enters my life and is like, no, I'll bust that up for you. And we're going to work with men too. And I was like, I'm so very thankful for it because there was fear there, meaning fear and judgment of there's no way where I want to go in this space because it was all about me at this time for all my learning and healing, right? Here we are on a call with 10 individuals and predominantly masculine energy. And there was an individual that said one of the skill sets that we had given them to practice or that we had talked about, he said helped him have a deeper, meaningful conversation with his 18-year-old son. And he also used the word breakthrough. And in that moment, like laser in through my entire soul was like, this is why you're showing up for this every day. And this is why also you're not gender judging or masculine, feminine. It is energy, right, Trisha? Like that was the moment where I was like, so it's all energy. Got it. Energy, energetic beings that are here. Here we are holding space for these energetic beings to show up, level up, dive deeper, right? And then I was like, whoa, this isn't just corporate. Life coaching, corporate coaching, it is all coaching because it is all energy. And it's like in my brain, I was making corporate so small in a way. It was like, no, corporate is expansive. These are human beings, energetic beings having these experiences. And here we get to be together in these times and share this and watching them have their moments of higher self come out. The only word I keep using is magical. It's just, I'm so thankful.
I do have one question in that. So, you know how like when you were saying, I only want to be with women, and Debbie said, no, we got to do men too. And, you know, but don't you find that there's feminine qualities, sometimes even softer in men, and definitely masculine qualities in women in business? A lot of times in business, because, you know, Deb, you've seen where people come in. I used to be one of them, where you had to like, I got to, you know.
It literally shook me at my core. I was just like, whoa. In my brain, I'm going, it's energy. It's just all energy. Masculine, feminine, we all carry it. We all have it. So yeah, it was
The big aha too, Trisha, in all honesty, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and this is something I've really started looking for. Men can join all types. They can do workout stuff. They have all types of things like that. But when it really comes to this level of work that we do, where are they going to go?
Yeah.
So we had a live training. This is with a multi-billion-dollar company. This is one of their higher end, like senior executive level teams. We go in for this training and we had done the pre-work going in, and it was so powerful when you're standing there with a gentleman with 10 to 12 members on his team of this massive, huge organization, and to watch him tear up in front of his team and openly say, I am the one that has withheld you, not you. Wow. And he goes, and I know that now. And when you see that happen and that magic happen in the room, and you watch that team melt and they come together as a team, and by the end and us walking out of that room, they had exponentially sped things up. And then we hold the space of accountability, growth, and all going forward for those that tap into it. When you tap into it, there is nothing but expansion ahead of you. Nothing.
You said men, women we have to filter through our resources of who we want to work with or share, who we share with. But men don't have that. And you know what? Is that true? They don't have that. So like, our therapist is our hairstylist, our massage person, you know, anybody that we're talking, our friend, whatever.
I'm just looking at it from my corporate clients. And if I were to ask them, you know, hey, do you have, you know, someone that you see for breath work and things like that? We're doing more teaching and training in those areas, Trisha, than them even knowing where to go for a resource like that.
So they feel like, okay, I've got to man up. You know, what is man up anyway?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And I think there's these hidden messages. Jenelle, what are your thoughts?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head. I believe it's societal. It's societal ways of upbringing. It's societal ways of looking at the masculine, what it means to be masculine, whether you look at corporate, whether you look at the community you're in or whatever it is. It's like the man is, I do all these things. It is shifting, but I do believe it is that societal thing of the masculine is they aren't tethered, if you will, in a way to deep soul conversations or deep soul practices because they were told not to cry. They don't break in their minds. They can't break
Just thinking, wow, we're three strong women here. Instead of thinking it was, oh, the women against the men, because that's what I hear a lot in women groups. This is like, no, come on, we need those leaders.
Yeah. They can't help it. They were born with masculine energy and called man in this society.
So yeah, and even the younger guys, they don't have like a place really, a lot of them. So I think this is fabulous that y'all are, I'm glad she pulled you out of just the women coach in there.
Me too. So you're right, though. I literally just had this conversation with several of my friends. I was like, we need to start inviting all the husbands to these circles with us. Like, let's bring them in here.
Well, that's funny. You say experience this type of energy, and it is everything is energy. So it's whether they can experience it with open arms or they experience it like, oh, it's different, and I don't want to have anything to do with it, and close them off. Our choice, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I think you are, first of all, brave. You are so brave in that you were in a career and you were killing it, sounds like, in that career. You were in a very strong position. Can you tell me about the moment that you knew, hey, I'm going to turn in my notice and I'm going to do something?
Yeah. It was a lot of things leading up to it. My grandfather had got very ill and was dying. My mom was taking care of him, and then my brother and I went down there to take care of our mom. And we were reading Energy Leadership, the book that Debbie and Evie were having us go through. And I had always been, once again, fascinated with energy. Here I was sitting on the Indian River. He literally lived right on the Indian River, and it was just beautiful setting. And I was out there meditating, doing my meditative practice in the morning. And I just kept asking, what is next? I feel something right now. What is next? And there was some, whatever, source, divine spirit hit me upside the head, basically, and was like, it's time. It is time to step out of your comfort zone. And I was like, what else do I do? I literally was like having a conversation with myself. This is all I know how to do, because that was my fear, right? And one of my gremlin messages to be extremely vulnerable was I'm not smart enough, because I also went and got a 2-year degree, not a 4-year degree. So I was judged a lot by people may not have known they were judging me, and I only felt that. So I also had this gremlin message of I'm not smart enough. And so that's another reason that I stayed in restaurant, because I was safe and secure, because I knew restaurant. And so I remember like sitting there going, okay, what do I do? Where are you taking me? And then it was like, what do you love? And I was like, well, I love being with people, and I love team aspects, and I love being in this mentor role that I had because I had brought several individuals with me in multiple different places of my career. And I was like, I love watching people grow and flourish. And then it was like, okay, you need to go Google and just plug those things in, see what pops up. Life coaching. And then the next thing you know, it just took me down a rabbit hole. And that's when it all kind of transpired and fell together. I just kept trusting the yes, right? I kept trusting and stepping into the yes. And that was all it was. It was like, okay, now what? Okay, now what? Okay, now what? And it was just like, this is crazy. You want me to go home and tell my husband that I'm leaving my 20-year career, and hey, by the way, I don't know what I'm doing.
When you made when you made the big decision, and even just then when you lit up like a Christmas tree for the back time of the year, is you said, I had this feeling. Did you notice that? Now, we say that I had this feeling. You actually have that feeling somewhere in your body. That's what we don't pay attention to. If you pay attention to where it is you have those feelings of excitement, it's going to live in the same spot every time. And if you can, like what we did at the beginning, send your breath to that and focus on it, guess what? That'll expand. And you can expand your magic too.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Feeling. So you guys dealing with feelings and emotions in a corporate. Yeah. It's crazy. It's great. And I'm so thankful.
Tricia, I do have to share a story of how grateful I am for you, because I know Jenelle and I are working intently with you to really bring this whole breath work into a corp, because it's healing when you learn to breathe. How many people spend in shallow breath, just, and they don't even realize it, right? I have to tell you what happened. And this, for us, for Jenelle and I, it's hilarious when we're teaching men about centering. And the very first time you have to say the word, it's like all these faces in the camera go, so have you ever done any centering? And crickets, right? I mean, you get such a wide array. You'll have some people that are workout people and they get it. They understand centering. So there's more of an athletic mind around it. There's different responses, all types of responses. But one particular guy, and he was so resistant to anything. He didn't want to come to the classes. He was only there because he had to, right? Because they said at work. So we get to this centering piece and he's like, I don't do that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I said, it's okay. It's totally, because we want everybody to feel comfortable. And it's truly, it doesn't matter. I said, you know what? Answer me this though. I said, do you ever have days like where they're rough days, you're aggravated, you're frustrated, nothing's going your way, I said, what's the first thing you do? So, you're in the car, you're driving along, something's going on, you realize you're all tense. What's the first thing you do? He goes, I just take in a deep breath and just go. And then I said, welcome to centering. And it's so cool to watch their faces just look, because if all it is the very first time you bring awareness to it, your body is already naturally doing it. What we want to do is, like you said, it's that feeling going, I did this for a half a second. What would happen if I did it 5 seconds? What would happen if I did it 10 seconds? These are
Masculine.
mechanical engineer brainiacs. So not just, these are like totally linear.
And so we always start welcomes, blah, blah, blah. And then we go in and we take them into breaths. And all I do with them is the 2x breath. That's very, very basic. Just want to do 2x breath. 4 in, 8 out. So I didn't look because I always have my eyes closed, but Debbie shared with me. But as I was opening my eyes, I could see him. And here he was like this. He had arms out. What do you call it? Amazing.
And I normally never look. When I lifted my eyes before I closed them, he was right at the bottom of my screen. And I just went, and then I felt like I was in sacred space and went, close your eyes. It was beautiful though. It was beautiful.
These guys, Trisha, have a lot of stress. Like their job is very demanding. So the fact that he got to get into that space and it was accepting of going into that space for himself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
He did it in his office.
Wow.
And to understand the power that someone that works in an environment that might not be open to that, and door closed or not, you're in the energy of your workspace and you literally release and open and go into a centering like that. It's beautiful. To me, that's a transformation we're seeing.
Being able to use your breath or to use something, you're totally in control with it. It requires no tools. It takes a limited amount of time. It's not having to go to a talk therapist. I'm not saying talk therapy is bad, but it's control of yourself and your body. You said so many people are shallow breathing. You breathe, you live how you breathe.
Oh.
So do you live shallowly?
That down, Jenelle. That's awesome.
So breathe fully, live abundantly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Trisha, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Well, Jenelle, I think, first of all, let me just say how proud of you. I don't even know you, really. I feel like I do. I know you on the energy level, but I'm so proud of you and other people who are willing to go inside, to trust the feelings and to listen to their body and to their emotions to take the next step. Because all we got is right now.
Yeah.
Fit for tomorrow when you go in your past life.
I am so excited. And Trisha, that means so much to me because I was also always told I was too much, right? Because I am high energy, high optimistic. So it was a lot of times I was too much, like, you're too loud, you're too da-da-da, quiet it down, get littler, don't be noticed anymore. So the too much a lot of times would play into that. But in that moment, in those moments, and reading energy leadership and going through this, what I did with Debbie and Evie, it was like, oh, and then I was doing Reiki on the side with a practitioner and just all this stuff. I was like, I mean, it's crazy you use that. Like I was like, open up that damn cage. And then I realized I was like, there is no cage. There's never been a cage. It was all a freaking illusion.
I love you
Thank you.
guys.
Love you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Beautiful evening, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Your Life Redefined. Hopefully it'll help you in redefining your life situations. Reach out to us, send us messages, and actually, if you would, just like and share this so you can get it to some more of your friends and we can continue doing this.